Okay, I believe this U is a Gwenai, I believe, and I don't put power shears on these. One, they bend real easy, but they're very tight and compact. So what I do when I trim them is I use my Okasun's hand shears. And if you're doing high top clients, you know, I'm not saying, you know, Betty down the street wants her shrubs trimmed and she's got a bunch of old time spirea or whatever that you need to go buy a set of these to do it. This is for touch-up work and for topiary work, these are. So if you want a nice clean cut, you need a set of these super sharp shears, something like that. And a nice set of super sharp power tools for the other stuff. You want to do these by hand. So what I do is I start at the top, and since these have been in for a good 10 years, they don't grow very fast. This is this year's growth right here from last fall. We want to get it down, and what you do is you feel the plant, and that gives you an idea, okay, that's how deep I can go. And all you want to do is cut off this year's growth, okay? So you do that with these, and you start on the top, and you just start real easy and slow, and after time, and you've been using these a lot, you know, longer like I have, you can get in here and go a little bit faster. But with this, I just tend to take my time and try to get down there. So what I'm doing is I'm literally feeling with my shear where the line is. Now it's not going to go in any deeper normally, except for when it's loose like that. So you got to be careful. Get yourself a nice line, kind of feel for it, and you pat it and get yourself a nice trim shrub here. You know, obviously a lot of people are going to go out and say, hey, you know, what are you going to charge for the shrub? You're going to do it for $10, $15, $20 per shrub. I do not do it like that. I charge a service fee, and I'm going to charge, for a job like this, I'm going to charge a service fee, and I'm going to charge a per man-hour fee. And it's going to be different than my normals. So you have to keep that in mind too, of what they're buying. You know, you're not just coming in here and doing a haircut. You're coming in here and you're reshaping a client's plants for them. You know, you're not just coming in here and mowing and going, I guess. Okay. Yeah. That's, well, I got a little bit over here yet to do. Okay, and this is how you end up with it, but what you want to do is see how very little growth I have left on there. You want it to get a little bit bigger, but you don't want to take too much off. And all these areas that I cut, they're going to fan out. You're going to get more blooms and stuff. And you get the separations and stuff like this, but it'll be thicker, and that's how you can get a plant to fill in for you. But I'll do a little bit more touching up on this. I just wanted you to see the finished product here. Okay, another thing I wanted to point out is a plant with this kind of structure on it, and don't be fooled with the densiformis, because it kind of has a flat blade like that too. But this is This is more of a garden juniper or a garden Japanese yew, so keep that in mind when buying one of these. But they do really well in the shade, and as you can see, the one out there that got more sun was a little thicker than the one that's underneath the canopy here of this tree. So you can see the growth and the cut from last year and how clean that is. So just keep that in mind when you're planting yews in the shade, that you need to get the right variety and put it in the right spot. These have been in here for a really long time, and we don't have a lot of growth on them, and this is a full year's growth right here. I want to show you what I found here. We've got a blue star. That's a shrub. That's a blue star. We have a blue star way out there in that island, and the seed or whatever blew over here. We have a weed, blue star weed. Thought I'd show you that. Pretty cool. Okay, this is just a common boxwood, you know. These are just as old as all the other plants. We did a re-landscape here probably 8 to 10 years ago. Can't remember which right off the top of my head, but you can see the cut from last year. These were all the same size they are now when we planted them. We just keep bringing them back to original size, okay? So you can cut this off and you can keep this plant the same size for quite a long time. He doesn't want them to get too big because we don't have much room here, and the property line is just behind my feet. So we don't want a big shrub, and he just wants this. Go ahead and take a picture of the look right on the lake here. So he wants this to stay fairly tight here, and you know, just want to make it look nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim these with these hand shears again, because it's a lot harder to use a power shear on something this big and make it look good. So it takes just the same amount of time for me to use the Okasuns than it does to just grab my power shear. So I'll cut back in and show you what we do here. How it looks. Step out of the shot a little bit so that you're not getting the shake. So Penny's doing this one here, and this one gets more sun. You can tell that this one's getting a lot thicker. So we tend to trim that one pretty tight, but still it doesn't grow near as fast as one in the full sun. This is the north side of the property. We're getting morning sun here, and yeah, so this one is the same age as that one down there. And you can see the size difference. So